Hero, I see you. Die hard. Trav. We gonna do this one the right way. We in here forever. Yeah. Die hard. Homie, die hard. You can check the swag, he the realest by far. Swimming in that blue and orange, he the lifeguard. Yeah, he been through pain, at least he got some nice scars. He can smell the trophy, yeah, he need it back to back. Represent himself, his own name is on his back. 10 toes down, try to stop him, he come back. Bandwagon hoppers, he will knock you off your tracks. You ain't saying nothing, Nero been here from the start. He been working in the lab to take his team and make it art. See him going over film to help him build and make him smart. He will tell you how he feels because he's real and he got heart. He will never fade away, he will never change his face. Everybody picking faves and he's feeling out of place. Cause he is for the team and he always rep the squad. Like that Christmas movie, he gon' always die hard. City on my back. They ask me what's my name and it's on my back. I'm just speaking facts. We got big dreams, we ain't looking back. We be really die hard, yeah, that's a fact. We be really die hard, ain't no going back. Make the whole crowd rise like a thermostat. Fourth quarter, I'm the killer, that's gon' murder that.
Hebrew is of the
all the sound effects today, guys. What's up, man? Trade deadline news, guys. Today is the end of the trade deadline. Just came home from work, so kind of blasting through this. A lot of crazy reactions, man, from this morning. You know, we got the news, the first news this morning, which we'll get into, man. But I got that news, I want to say like maybe 3 o'clock in the morning. I got up to get ready for work because I got to get up really early every morning to go to work. So I was up at 3. You know, so I checked the phone, been checking all night, can't really sleep. And then I finally see the news. I'm like, really? That's what we did? You know, so, you know, I get it. You know, nobody's ignorant out here. No, everybody, we're all Knicks fans. This is the diehard Knicks podcast. So everybody knows our situation. You can't just trade guys for no reason. You know, we've been doing this for a while now. So, you know, for people to say things, you know, Twitter's really annoying me. I'm about to delete my app. And I keep saying I'm going to do it. But I mean, most of the stuff I'm getting it from Twitter because it's the most used app as far as information and stuff. But you still come across like certain people. So I'm gonna just like vigorously just start blocking people just because I mean it's ruining my quality of life. Shout out to like Knicks fans that you know, everybody, you're your main Knicks fan in your life, you know. So especially at work, I'm the main Knicks fan in my little circle at work, you know what I'm saying? So if something happens, you know, they can't wait to see me because they want to talk to me about the Knicks and stuff. You know, I got the podcast and whatever. So I'm quite sure all of you guys are the main Knicks fan in your life. So when something happens, like everybody comes at you, and everybody always got something crazy to say. So it's a little bit of annoying, but it's like a responsibility that we have as Knicks fans, man, to like navigate through that, and it's not easy, man. Definitely not easy. But you know, like I said, the news wasn't easy. I mean, this guy's job is not easy either. Get Leon Rose. He's never done anything like out of that really messed us up, except for maybe the Fournier and you know, Fournier and what's the other one? The other point guard that we picked up. You know, there was a little bump in the road, but for the most part, he's been doing a really good job at, you know, getting talent here and stuff. So up until this point now, we're legit like the third best team in the East. We might even actually be the second best, you know, right behind Cleveland because Boston has been kind of floundering. Right on cue, we play Boston on Saturday, so we get to settle that. You know, they whipped our ass in game 1 because we were a new team, we're just getting ourselves together. So we get a rematch on Saturday, so it's gonna be interesting to see how that goes. You know what I'm saying? Well, I won't be doing a watch along. I'll be doing that get together watch along party at Diamante's. It's like right on the corner from the Garden. We'll be out there, you know. So I'll hang out there as long as it feels good. I'll be there to hang out. If not, then I'll take my ass home. But we'll see what happens, man. But let's get into the action here. This is, you know, just cut to the chase. This is our playoff roster. We got Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, OG, and Karl Anthony Towns. That's our starting lineup there. It's a good starting lineup, but my issue with the lineup is that we don't have enough rebounding and toughness. You know, yes, you know, OG is a good defensive player, but he's not a power forward. You know, he can't post up. He can't really create his own shot. He can't do nothing like that. Same thing with Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges plays within the flow of the offense. So, you know, and let's say if we have Mikal Bridges as our shooting guard, we will be really good. Brunson and Mikal Bridges and the backcourt will be dope. But we got Josh Hart there. Josh Hart is not a small forward. He's not a power forward. Regardless of how many rebounds he gets, he's really a shooting guard. Shooting guard that really is like a point guard kind of. So it's not, for me to say that it's not left because guys like Westbrook and Harden and Luca, these are point guards now, and these guys get a lot of rebounds. You know what I'm saying? So Josh Hart is kind of like that kind of player though. He's not a true point guard, but he's definitely a good backup, backcourt mate to Brunson. So we're kind of like stuck in between there. So I mean, Mikal Bridges works because he's a little bit taller. He's not much taller. He's only 6'6" compared to Josh at 6'5". So, the picture I'm trying to paint is that we're just undersized. Like I said, OG is big like a power forward, but he doesn't really play like a power forward. He's really a 3-and-D kind of guy. And then Karl Anthony Towns is risking his life every single night getting chopped and cracked. His thumb probably needs surgery. So, we're missing something. We're definitely missing something in the starting lineup. I don't know if we should make a lineup change at this point of the season because I mean, Tom Thibodeau I thought did a horrible job managing the roster, and I just think that that's been a big topic of conversation with this with the fan base, especially on this app here. Just talking about the minutes police and stuff like that. It's all fun and games, and dating, game to game. Everybody loves to argue and stuff, but on some real shit, the Knicks needed to figure this out before now. Before we needed to figure out the minutes distribution or figure out what works and take a look at some players throughout the course of the season. We shouldn't be going through this now. We shouldn't be going through this thing where we're still kind of like in transition kind of thing. But not for nothing, I think the Knicks think that they're good. I think that they think that they're fine. So my thing, OG is gonna be out. He's probably gonna be out until probably like the All-Star break. After the All-Star break, Mitchell Robinson's still not cleared to play and stuff. But this is the roster. Let's continue. You got Cam Payne off the bench. You got Deuce McBride. You got Landry Shamet, who is not a small forward. He's not a wing. People say, oh, but he's a wing. You don't know what you're talking about. He's not a wing, dude. The guy can't rebound. The guy averages like 2 rebounds, 1 rebound per game. And I mean, he doesn't really pass that well either. You know what I'm saying? So, he's really just a 3-and-D kind of guy. So, but 3-and-D at the shooting guard. He's good at facilitating offense. He's better than Deuce at that. But people don't want to hear that. They just say, "Oh, Landry Shamet's a wing." Whatever, man. When did wing become a position in basketball? What happened to small forward, center, point guard, and shooting guard? I guess we're the modern NBA, so we're not allowed to say that anymore, right? So Precious has been good, for us. He's been hurt, but now he's starting to come out of his shell a little bit. So, just the good transition to Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson's not going to come back gangbusting. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna have a little time period where he's gonna have to get himself assimilated to Knicks basketball again. So eventually Mitchell Robinson will get it, and then he'll get the same little boost that Precious is gonna get that gave us, So it's gonna take a little while. It's gonna take a couple weeks for him to get assimilated. But once he does, him and Precious, that's gonna be a good 1-2 punch off the bench defensively. Tom Thibodeau's gonna have to figure out that rotation, how to get the toughness and rebounding and defense in there mixed in with the other guys, So I mean, that's not my job. Tom Thibodeau's supposed to be an elite coach. You're not allowed to talk bad about Tom Thibodeau. He's the greatest coach that we've had since, Red Holtzman, if you want to say, or Pat Riley or whatever, Jeff Van Gundy, who keeps getting too much praise because Van Gundy abandoned us back in the days, when the Knicks were going down. He quit on the team when they were 11-11. So anyway, that's for another day. But this is our roster. Tyler Kolek is rounds it out at the end there. You got Pacome Diate, McNaurin, the one person, Matt Ryan, Ariel Hakporti. I mean, guys I'm trying to tell you, like this guy like Shamet should be in the bottom 5. Tyler Kolek, Pacome, Matt Ryan shouldn't even be on the roster. So it's just annoying. It's a little bit annoying that we should have figured this out before, because now, as time goes on, we'll talk about, the different options that we have going forward. But it's just really annoying, that we're here now and we're still trying to figure things out, from the fans' perspective. I don't really know what the organization is thinking, but just based off this trade deadline, they think that they're good. They think that they're good, and I just don't. I know we'll sit there, we'll be cheering for our guys, but I don't have the confidence, like in the back of my heart, that this team could really compete. Last year, I thought the team could win a championship. I legit thought the Knicks could win a championship last year, but then we got hurt. Once Julius busted his shoulder and then everybody else started going down, that was the end of it. So I really thought we were going to win a championship last year. We had the team for it. This year I just don't feel that. I feel like that we just have so many flaws that teams are taking advantage of. But some nights we could be great. So All it takes is lightning in a bottle. So, we're Nick fans, so we're going to continue to follow. But let's get into the action here. This is the guy we got, man. This is Delon Wright here. Let's scroll down here. This is basically just a search engine here, showing you the different news today about Delon Wright and stuff. So this is basically him here. Delon Wright. Let me get the initial trade here. There it goes. It was for Jerricho Sims, just straight up trade. I mean, I feel like we gave away Jericho Sims, but at the same time, what was Jericho Sims doing for us anyway? It's not like he was killing the league or anything. But I mean, the guy did have value. He started for us a lot this year. Somebody brought it up today. Matter of fact, a few people, everybody brought it up, and you probably were thinking about it that we were showcasing Jericho Sims the entire season, probably. You know what I'm saying? Now, we already had Hakporty there. Hakporty was right there to replace him the entire year. So, we had to play Jericho Sims in order to, give him his value and stuff like that. So I mean, I get it. So let's say if that's true, then why did we trade him for Delon Wright? Delon Wright is a guy that's probably on his way out of the league right now. You know what I'm saying? He's like 32 or whatever he is. He's on the downside of his career. He's on his way out. He should be like going on retiring soon. He's never was a guy that really lived up to his potential, because he could have been a really nice two-way player, scoring wise and also defense. Just to scroll through here, there's a couple people here. Let me just shout out some people. You got Southwest. Shout out to Southwest. Southwest from Twitter. Some of the people that they interact with. You got Angel here with that post. Scrolling through here. This is Christian Winfield. He's one of the writers. He just brings up that he's always been like one of the leaders in steals and stuff. So this guy can play defense. Delon Wright. I remember a couple times him guarding Brunson. He actually did a really good job against Brunson, getting steals and fronting him the ball and stuff like that. Brunson's gonna bust everybody's ass, but this guy really did a good job of stopping the ball handle and stuff like that, man. So this guy could potentially give us something, but it's gonna be hard to get him out there over guys like Sham and stuff like that, because he just hasn't been here. He would just have to blow Tom Thibodeau away in practice, and I just don't think that's gonna happen. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm intrigued by Delon Wright. I'm not gonna diss him, because like under other circumstances, I would have loved to get Delon Wright on this roster under normal circumstances. But just the trade deadline, we traded him for Jericho Sims. So it's just annoying. Like I said, I don't want to diss the player. It's just that I feel like if we did all this, trying to get Jericho Sims trade value up, then why did we only trade him for Delon Wright? Why weren't we able to do something else? So. You got to temper your expectations in certain things, but it is what it is. This is just more talk about his defensive motor and stuff. Elite passing lane deterrent. All these descriptive words there. This guy Christian Winfield used a couple of them. Whoever this is, I don't know if this is a cut and paste, but this is New York Basketball, NBA New York. They post a lot of Knicks stuff, right on target. So this is a quote. I believe this is a quote. So this is I don't know who said it. Oh, NBA University is the one. I'm looking at it now. It says NBA University. So anyway, they're using descriptive words there just to talk about him. But I mean, like I said, welcome to New York. I got nothing bad to say. He's, like I said, he's a good player. If we picked him up on the normal circumstances, then it wouldn't be such a big deal. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Here goes another tidbit here. Chris Persian, whatever his name is. I met this kid when he was like still in college. He was like maybe like 19 or 20, something like that. He was kind of like a pompous kind of dick a little bit, especially on Twitter and stuff. I met him in person. When I met him in person, I thought it was going to be a different interaction, but he was more like like not bragging, but really excited about school and stuff like that. So I just looked at him and said, okay, so he's a little man, you know what I'm saying? But little man, he's got a mustache now, and he's starting to build himself up here as a media person here, as a so eventually he will be one of those guys in New York, and maybe on your TV on somewhere else too, man, because people like him, so that's another thing, another story for another day. But a lot of these guys that are kind of like dicks sometimes, you know what I'm saying, they're the guys that keep getting opportunities, and it's just really weird. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I work, like I said, 3:00 in the morning. I was up to get my ass to work. So I mean, I don't really have time to do things like I would like to do. Like I said, I would like to get more of these podcasts out. But guys like this, they tend to to have more time on their hands, and they get the opportunities, whatever. But anyway, just what he was saying here about the Knicks window, I just thought was interesting, because the Knicks basically because we're all thinking this. The people say, "Oh, you stole my take, man." There's like millions of people in this world, and we all saying the same type of things or whatever. So basically, the gist of it was that the Knicks have a window, and the Knicks basically established the window. They think that they can win this year. The Knicks think that they can win this year. That's why they didn't do anything. They want to see Mitchell Robinson do his thing. They want to see this roster do something. But next year, I'm quite sure the offseason for next year, especially with the draft and whatnot, is probably going to be explosive. I think the Knicks are probably going to do something really crazy during the offseason, to really make that shift. Because I don't need this fucking guy to say it, but we're all thinking it. This guy Jalen Brunson's like 29 years old, 28 years old. He's not going to be young forever, man. He's old, actually. You know what I'm saying? He's in a prime of his career. How much more years is he going to be stopping and popping, and scoring over 7-footers, like this, scoring 40, over 6'8", 7-foot guys all the time. How long is that going to last? So we basically got like a 3-year window. So that's basically what he was talking about here. So my thing is, if that's the case, then we need to expedite what we're trying to do here. So look out for the offseason. There's a lot of moving parts, like Luka got traded, for Christ's sake, like so many different trades. We'll talk about that briefly, but there's been so much movement on recently in the NBA, and I think the Knicks are going to be a part of that, but it just won't be happening today. Along with Delon Wright, we were able to get $2 million in another trade in that Bucks, Knicks, Wizards, Spurs trade. They didn't really explain this, but I guess some of these trades that were mentioned were all interconnected some kind of way. So somehow the Knicks got $2 million in these trades here. So I believe that's going to help us at picking up a free agent, maybe, because we can now pick up free agents once they get waived, so that's something to think about. But I can't help but think about how jealous I feel watching all this player movement, because there were so many players that we absolutely could have used, that teams were from just judging by the conversation and just judging by the energy of what's been happening, like we could have been in the mix for other deals out there. And there was a lot of players that were dangling, a lot of things that people were mentioning and talking about, rumors and stuff like that, that it could have been even bigger than this trade deadline. But it was pretty big, pause, no rainbow, but like I said, I was talking about the window and stuff. The window is not that long, man. You're talking about 3 years. That 3 years goes by fast, and the league changes. Shout out to Kevin F 3394 here on Twitter. So let me just read his tweet in entirety. He says, "Too many Knicks fans think that this is some unlimited years title window, and I'm sorry, it's just not reality. That's the truth, man. League changes so fast. Young players get better, more talent coming into the league every day. Yeah, so I mean, time is ticking. You can't just sit on your fingers and then look to smell it every once in a while. Every once in a while, things change. You know what I'm saying? And that pungent smell isn't as pungent anymore. Before you know it, there's somebody else with an even more stinky ass. You know what I'm saying? This getting the attention. You know what I'm saying? So the Knicks have to be vigilant. And I think right now we're sitting on this season, based off of what we did. They want to see what we got, and then in the off season we'll probably make those stark moves here. One thing I want to point out here is that there's always like, oh yeah, the Knicks were talking to this team, so we apparently were supposed to be talking to Chicago Bulls about their backcourt players, which is interesting. That might be something that we might revisit in the off season. Like I said, it might be like a major thing that we might do. But things change, so I call bullshit on these things, man. Pinocchio, the people just say stuff just so they can keep their teeth white. People that like I said, like Chris Percy and whatever his name is, these guys they make stuff and they make posts and stuff like that just so they can keep their name circulating and stuff. So whoever this person is, J Cowley Hoops, these guys are trying to make a name for themselves. So they post different things just to get fan engagement and stuff. So I'm quite sure if you click his page, there's a lot of engagement on this type of post, because Knicks fans are going to eat it, but at the same time, nothing happened. And then he said, yeah, see, that was part of the rumor that, and then, you'll see those posts. Yeah. This is, confirms the rumor that we had, that the Knicks were talking to this play. If it didn't happen, then the rumors that weren't real, if it didn't happen, or if these players or teams didn't say anything about it, which they wouldn't, then it didn't happen, so it's like, it's a little bit of no, hey guys, this didn't happen, but it could have. Like, man, fuck you, bro. So anyway, this is the new league here, and it's quite a few different weird faces here. You got Chris Middleton on the Wizards, but the Wizards don't want to waive any of the guys they picked up. They also got they got a bunch of guys there. You got Brandon Ingram is with the Raptors, which is weird to me. I feel like they can use a point guard, but they're choosing to play RJ Barrett and Scotty Barnes in the backcourt, and now they got Brandon Ingram now. So I mean, I just don't know what they're doing there. Jimmy Butler to the Golden State Warriors. Who are they trying to scare? They just got Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry. What are they doing over there? The Lakers. I don't know why they went and got Luca. Luca and LeBron together. LeBron is already the point guard. So why is Luca needed there? So I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. The Clippers went and traded for Bulgon. What else? I mean, there's so many different things here. The Atlanta Hawks. I'll get to that in a second. Lord have mercy. The Miami Heat traded for Wiggins. We could just go down the line. The Kings want to recreate the Chicago Bulls and with the Kings. Another big trade was the De'Aaron Fox. That's another good one. It is what it is, man. The league is in flux, man. Definitely a lot of changes out there. But it's good for the league. It's good for the league to make these changes and for us as fans, to get that, to build it up, to build up the league, to build up the excitement in the league, I should say. You know what I'm saying? So this is some of the different names here. If you guys would like to look at it as we're going on, quite a few names here that I wish the Knicks would have tried to have conversations about. Let me see if I can pull some out right away. Like guys like Kuzma, I don't have interest in. Mark Williams is interesting. He went to the Lakers. I think that was a big trade there. Mark Williams is 7'2", good lower body, good upper body too. Very tall and long, can spin, dunk, could lay up. His good footwork in the paint and stuff. So I mean, he's going to be really good. Especially with Luka and those guys on the roster. Just scrolling down, and there's a big one there. I'll talk about him in a second. Scrolling down, Dalton. I can never get his last name. Necht, whatever his name is. He went to the Hornets. That's going to be good for them in the future. It would have been nice to see if we could have pulled one of those guys. That's when like a Mitchell Robinson trade. If that could have worked. You know what I'm saying? But Mitchell Robinson had no value. He's like making $14 million a year, which is a big commitment for somebody who's not even ready to play. Marcus Smart is somebody I mentioned also. But the Wizards say they want to keep him. Kevin Porter got traded for nothing to the Bucks. I think that's a big trade. Knicks could have used Kevin Porter. I know Kevin Porter has bad press with his attitude and stuff like that. But having a young kid like that off the bench there with his ability to score, that's exactly what we needed. And he got traded for a second round picks if I'm not mistaken. Kevin Porter would have been dope, to have on the Knicks. Scrolling down here, there's a lot of guys here. Drew Eubanks from the Clippers. You got Huerta. I don't know about those guys, but I'm scrolling down. Just taking a look. Guys like Nurkic got traded. The people thought that he would never get traded, and he got traded. So all these rules only apply to the Knicks. The Knicks can never make moves because we're restricted by this, that, and the other. But meanwhile, you got players that you thought would never get moved to get moved so easily. In these type of trades. Guys like those twins, the Caleb Martin and his brother. We could have gotten either one of those guys because they got traded for nothing basically. Schroeder also, but Schroeder is something else, but he ended up with the Pistons in like a simple kind of deal. Cal Anderson is probably going to be a buyout candidate. We'll continue talking about that later. Scrolling down, just trying to see who else popped up here. Guys like Reggie Jackson got waived. We could have sent them a second round pick to pick up Reggie Jackson. Mo Bamba got traded and waived. I don't know what's up with Mo Bamba, why he's not getting the recognition or the playing time, whatever you want to say anymore. He was like almost a double guy and a 3-point shooter and a shot blocker, but for some reason he can't stick on a roster anymore. It's just very weird what's going on with some of these players in the NBA. But I mean, there's plenty of movement here today. So let's continue to move down this thing. Right after the trade deadline was over, like literally like 10 minutes after the deadline was over, look what we see. Mitchell Robinson, another stupid post. He says, "I'm tall," with the smiley faces, man. So I mean, people ask, they talk about Mitchell Robinson, but they talk about him as if he's Charles Oakley in his prime. Mitchell Robinson, yeah, he could play good defense, and like he can make some really spectacular plays. And like you think about Cleveland, and you think about, just whatever. You think about Philadelphia, just the plays that he was making. He could be really good, but he's also kind of a pussy. I hate to call guys pussies. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to basketball, whenever there was a fight or something that you needed an enforcer, he never was in the mix. You got guys like DiVincenzo was in the mix. Hartenstein was in the mix. But Mitchell Robinson, a lot of times when things were happening, Mitchell Robinson standing on the outside. If anybody's going to stop Julius, it would be him to get in front of Julius or whatever. He's just not that guy. This is who he is. He's a silly kid. That's what he is. To call him a beast, you can't call a guy like this a beast. Yes, he's a good defensive player, but for somebody that's such a good defensive player, like if he gets hurt a little bit, then he's useless. If he gets hurt, he's useless. So I mean, like other guys, like we have Mitchell, like a Mitch Robinson. We're talking about Mitchell Robinson, but say like Karl Anthony Towns, like he hurts his hand, but he's still playing out there. He still can give you other things. Like other players too, they can get hurt, but they still give you other things. This guy hurts his ankle and he's completely done. He falls on his butt and he's done. He can't do anything. And then when he comes back, it takes him a while to get you back into the groove. But all you do is play defense and rebound. Why does it take so long for you to get into the groove? I'm just over this guy. I wish we would have traded him before, then we won't have to be here. But like I said, I will acknowledge the fact that when he's available, if he is ever available to play, he's definitely going to give us like help off the bench. Because we need the defense, not for nothing. But just the whole thing with Mitchell Robinson, I'm just particularly done with it. We could talk about like the first playoff season against Atlanta. He didn't play. And then that was a red flag there. He didn't play because he was hurt. This shout out to Nerlens Noel. He's the one that was the center for most of the year. Even last year with Hartenstein, he was the one. Hartenstein was the one that was holding us down, not Mitch Robinson. Mitch Robinson came back and he was healthy and he helped out then. It was dope. But people talk about that Cleveland series, shout out to I keep forgetting her name. But shout out to the Nick of Time show with the young lady that's there. I keep forgetting her name. I don't know why I keep forgetting her name. But she keeps talking about Mitchell Robinson, like, whatever, and she keeps bringing up the same things that everybody else brings up. But yeah, let's bring up the other stuff too, though. Let's bring up the fact that he's never gotten better in the entire time that he's been in the NBA. So there's a lot of red flags with this dude, and this guy is like silly as fuck, And I just, to me, I'm just over it. But like I said, at the same time, he does play defense. You know what I'm saying? So he can help us. My thing is, I can say both. I can say I don't want him on the team, and I can acknowledge that he could still contribute. You know what I'm saying? There's no law saying that you can't say that. I don't have to be stuck on this. And this is not a fucking political discussion. I'm not left wing, right wing, and Democrat, Republican. Man, this is just we just talking about basketball here. I mean, well, fuck all these guys, and fuck you too, by the way, if you're watching. So anyway, let's keep scrolling. Worth noting, when it comes to salaries and stuff, you're talking about the $12.8 million threshold. We can't sign anybody that was bought out that made more than $12.8 million. It's a rule that they put out there to prevent like the playoff teams like the Knicks from stealing high end players, in the buyout market. You know what I'm saying? Because all the high end players are going to want to come to teams like the Knicks. Obviously, so they made that rule, so the Knicks, to prevent the better teams from doing that. So anyway, Ben Simmons, is not going to come to the Knicks. By the way, shout out to whoever else we were talking about, that could get bought out. Like say like Chris Middleton, if he got bought out, we can't sign him because he made more than 12.8 before he got waived. So, things like that you just have to keep in mind with the new rules and stuff. But somebody posted this is my reaction to it. But shout out to Tommy Beer. He posted a small list of players that we could pick up. You got Javonte Green. I wouldn't mind Javonte Green, but he's 6'4", 6'5". He's like a really like a power forward, small forward, but he's the size of a point guard. Chris Boucher would be really nice if he's bought out. Going down, PJ Tucker, I don't want no parts of. Larry Nance actually would be nice. Larry Nance would be dope. But if Mitch Robinson's coming back, then there's no use, I guess. Scrolling through, Jaden Springer, I think is a dope player. Daniel Dice, I skipped over him, but it is what it is. We kind of don't need Daniel Dice. Jaden Springer would be nice. He would be a nice pickup. Seth Curry, I see people talking about Steph Curry out there. Seth Curry is he can shoot. I would like him better than a Shamit, but it is what it is. Josh Richardson is a really good player. I wouldn't mind picking him up. Marvin Bagley, forget Taj. I see Taj there. Marvin Bagley, would be really dope to have on the roster too. He's really a power forward. They keep playing him at center. Lonnie Walker is in Europe right now, so he would be dope to pick up as well. Reggie Jackson is another one. Not for nothing, I would love to pick up a bunch of these guys and just totally dump our entire bench. You know what I'm saying? But we're definitely not going to do that. So we're definitely going to have to see what's going on here with this as time goes on. But this is definitely my reaction to it. It's when I saw that list, I'm just like, really, that's the list, But that list is going to grow, before the deadline. So the deadline for to sign a player to be available for the playoff roster, I believe, is March 1st. You know what I'm saying? So we have to try to sign somebody before March 1st in order for them to be available for the playoff rosters, if I'm not mistaken. So keep on scrolling here. Let's get into some guys that we can pick up, like the G League guys. Shout out to Chuma Okike. You know that's a guy that I thought years ago before he got his knee injuries and stuff. He probably could have been our starting power forward. I actually was thinking about that before we got Julius and before whatever. You know what I'm saying? This guy was one of those guys that I thought that we can probably pick up or to replace Julius when we wanted Julius out of here. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, he ended up on the roster, but he was hurt. He built himself up on getting triple doubles in the G League and stuff. Playing really good for the Westchester Knicks. But look who picked him up. The 76ers pick him up. So the 76ers they're trying to bolster their front lineup and stuff like that just to play us. They're doing that for us. But they got to make the playoffs first, man. Philadelphia got a lot of problems over there. But aside from guys like Chuma Okike, we got guys like this, Moses Brown. So I mean Moses Brown, 7'2", averaging 16 and 15 in the G League right now, 59% from the field, 1 block per game. This is for this month. He's player of the month for the entire G League, man. So this guy's dangling. It makes you wonder why a team hasn't picked him up. But he's definitely a player that should not be in the G League. He should be on somebody's roster, filling up space instead of guys like Matt Ryan and stuff like that. He should be on the Knicks roster. I mean, we should have, like I said, we should have traded Mitch already. We should have established what Moses Brown could do. We should have established what Hawkporty could have done at this point. You know what I'm saying? But we chose not to do that. So here we are at the middle of the season trying to figure this thing out. But I would love to get this kid a chance. But we're a playoff team. We're trying to win a championship. So these are little question marks that we shouldn't be fucking around with now at this point. So it's just a frustrating thing. But speaking of frustrated, man, the Cleveland Cavaliers are the best team in the NBA, guys, and they made a major trade here. So I mean, this is really a lateral trade. A lateral trade meaning that it's basically even, and they traded one player for the same kind of player. But Karis LeVert is really a small forward shooting guard that can't shoot. And this guy DeAndre Hunter is really like a power forward. Like he's really a power forward that's a small forward that can play like a guard. And he busts Josh Hart's ass every time they play. And Josh Hart, if you put them head to head, is going to be guarding this guy. Probably. When the season starts, and even if Mikal Bridges guards him, he usually cooks us. People saying, oh, but he's like the 5th best player on their team and instead of whatever you want to think about it. If people always thinking about basketball and options and stuff like that, and oh, he's the 5th best player, 1st best player, 2nd option, 3rd option. If you're playing basketball and the ball is up, man, matchups and stuff like that, he makes the Cleveland Cavaliers better, and they were already the best team in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? And this is a lateral trade. This is what makes me mad about it. It's not the fact that we couldn't have gotten DeAndre Hunter because we could have used them, but there was no way for us to get him, to tell you the truth. You know what I'm saying? But a lateral trade like this is something that can change the course of what your future basically. So in my opinion, I feel like the Knicks could have used a little lateral trade. Because I mean, as good as Mikal Bridges is, as good as OG is, these one of those two guys got to go, in my opinion. I think we need to make a lateral trade to get more toughness and rebounding here. But we still need to keep that strong starter. Karis LeVert was coming off the bench, but this guy DeAndre Hunter is going to start for them because they got guys like Dean Wade and stuff like that starting for Cleveland. But he's definitely going to start over those guys, at least in my opinion. He should. You know what I'm saying? So in my opinion, like say like a Mikal Bridges, he's averaging 17, I don't know, 4 and 3, with decent percentages. If we can get a lateral trade going here where we can get a player that's providing the same kind of thing, same kind of contribution, but just in a position and a playing style that we can utilize a little bit better, I think that would be dope. Somebody that could give you 17 points per game and give you a little bit more toughness on rebounding wise, a little bit more strength and just toughness, in that way. I think that will help out so much because then you won't have to rely on guys like OG and stuff like that to do those things. So I think that's something that we're gonna have to address in the offseason. But like I said, and like everyone's saying, like a lot of people saying, the Knicks are just trying to feel this roster out and see how far we can go with this particular roster, and then crack the window open and see what we can get established in the offseason, man. So it is what it is there. So these are my thoughts here. Let me see if I had anything else going on with the last point here. Oh my God. So after this trade here, we play the Cleveland Cavaliers pretty soon on the 21st. So I legit have it written here on the wall here for Cleveland. I'm waiting for that Cleveland game. I would love to get tickets. They're gonna be playing it against the Knicks on the 21st, right? But it got moved to ESPN. So now after they make this big trade, now this is my reaction. Like, oh brother, they made this big trade. They got DeAndre Hunter there, and now we're gonna be on national TV playing against them, man. So it's gonna be a lot of stress. National TV always got something to say about the Knicks. And if we get cracked on national TV, it's gonna be annoying. But if we stand up to them and we make it a good game and whatever, that'll be great too. But it's really annoying to see that. It's like a little bit extra stress for us Knicks fans and stuff. But this is my reaction to the trade deadline. I thought it was dope. I've been on my phone all day. It's one of my favorite times of year. The off season is a lot of fun due to the player movement and stuff. And the trade deadline is a lot of fun. Of course you love your team. You want to stick by your players and stuff like that. But players get moved all the time. John Starks got traded for Sprewell, for Christ's sake. You know what I'm saying? You hate to lose John Starks, but we got Sprewell. Anthony Mason was traded for Larry Johnson. So Anthony Mason is one of my favorite all-time players of all time. And he got traded for Larry Johnson. To this day that I can care less about Larry Johnson. Even when I see him, doing Knicks events and stuff like that. He's not. He's a Knicks. He's a Knick. He has some big moments, with the Knicks, but Anthony Mason is the real guy. What I'm saying. And he got traded for Larry Johnson. So, people get traded all the time. Patrick Ewing got traded for Christ's sake. Walt Frazier got traded. So things happen, and you keep rooting for your team. You don't root for the players, man. So it is what it is, man. But let me say what's up to the chat. It's been 117 pieces of chat, that I just ignored. I'm quite sure that there'll be a lot of replays out there for the replay gang and stuff. So while this is going on, let me put Leon back here. The video of him on a loop, just doing his comments and stuff. Shout out to On Dios in plays. We got Nostalgic Nick in here. You got Kareem Grant. Looking to see if you guys had any questions or comments or whatever. I'm just sliding through here. Shout out to Nick Nation in the place. I said, Nick Nation, if you're enjoying the content, this is On Deals, doing a little commercial. So definitely thank you, On Deals. Shout out to On Deals too, man. Look up On Deals on Instagram. Always posting all kind of memes and stuff like that, So I definitely appreciate what he brings to the table. Shout out to Geraldine. Scrolling through this, looking to see if you guys have any comments and stuff. Yeah, this is a major thing. We have no firepower, and right now it's not the time to be trying to find the firepower. Right? We should have tried to figure that out throughout the season. Now we're going to be pulling at straws, and not for nothing. I think Leon Rose and these guys think we have enough firepower. When you got a team that can score 143 points, and you think that, how can we crack that open? How can we unlock that to do that every night? The thing is that we're not that good to do that every night. Can we do it every night? Let's say every other night, maybe. Yeah, I think we could. But when we do that, then we'll have these other games too when we just can't score and we can't play defense, and it's just crazy, man. So people are expecting Mitchell Robinson to come here to give us more possessions, which will help, yes. And to help out with the rim protection. So. Mitchell Robinson gives you 5 offensive rebounds per game if you want to say more, but I'll say 5. So what does that add? Maybe like say let's add 5 more possessions to the game. He only blocks like 1 shot per game. But him being down there, he's going to be a deterrent. So let's say he deters 5 shots at the rim. So you're talking about 10 extra possessions. So I mean that's got to be good, right? So if you're doing Knick fan math. Then that should be good for us, man. So, but is that enough to get us over the top? We'll see. That's why we play the games. So scrolling, like I said, I'm just trying to see if anybody has any insight here or just reactions and stuff. Yeah, we have 0 firepower. So it's like there's a lot of retreads. Shout out to Graffery, no doubt. Good to see you there, my brother. Booker, shout out to Devin Booker for Phoenix. They say that the Phoenix Suns are a cancerous locker room. Durant doesn't want to be there, but he doesn't want to go where they want to send him. Shout out to Bradley Beal, who doesn't want to come off the bench. Shout out to Devin Booker to just standing there and say, this is my team. Why is all this stuff happening? So like I said, in the offseason, all those guys are going to be available. Bradley Beal's going to want out. Durant looks like he wants out now, and Devin Booker probably is like, man, if you guys not going to give me a good team around me, then I want to be out of here too. So that's going to be something to think about there. Can the Knicks pick up a Devin Booker? Yes, we have the firepower. We have trade chips to send out, to get a Devin Booker. Do we have the draft picks? No, we trade all of the draft picks for fucking Mikal Bridges, man. So, that's not gonna help us. But guys like Luca and Brandon Ingram, those guys weren't traded for a bunch of picks. So, it's still possible. Shout out to Jackal. He says, Deuce is the last one standing from my 2022 draft class. Now that Sims is gone. Yeah, he's one of the longest, tenured Knicks now, Deuce McBride. And Deuce McBride, I would ship him off in the next train, plane, automobile. If a right trade came along, because to me he's an undersized shooting guard. If we could find somebody 6'5", we got somebody, Delon Wright, right? Delon Wright. I don't know if he can still shoot or whatever, but he could play defense at 6'5". I don't know, man. These people say, oh, how are you gonna find guys like Deuce? You find them all, they're all over the league. Guys like Deuce are all over the league. So it is what it is. Shout out to Almighty Finesse in the place. I'm pissed too. I'm pissed that we didn't make any moves, but like I said, you have to be realistic on the moves that we could have made. The Knicks, like I said, the Knicks don't even know their roster really. They don't know their roster. They still want to get Mitch back and they want to see how it looks. I think that's their mentality. That's all I can assume is that, we haven't heard from Leon. Leon doesn't address the media. He doesn't address the public until the off season. You know what I'm saying? So we'll never know what he's thinking, and I don't want to know because it's just going to add more gasoline to the fire. But we'll just keep going through here. We got Myth in the place. What's up? Scrolling through. Yeah. Cavs getting Hunter is definitely an underrated move there. It's not, like I said, it's not a world breaking move, but it definitely, because they were starting guys like Dean Wade. They were starting Dean Wade because they wanted that tall, small forward kind of power forward kind of guy that could shoot the three and play defense. But De'Aaron Hunter checks all those boxes there. So now they don't have to start Dean Wade. And DeAndre Hunter could start in that spot from the jump. And that's gonna be dope for them because they already spread the wealth as far as minutes is concerned to begin with. You know what I'm saying? So it's just gonna be dope. I think they did a really good thing there with that trade. No disrespect to Karis LeVert and Georges Niang over there. Those are two good players too. But they're gonna do well in Atlanta. Shout out to Karis LeVert. I think, due to who his family is, LeVert, the LeVert family and stuff. I think that he'll do well in Atlanta culturally. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's really good. Look at talking about Mark Williams. Shout out to Mighty Finesse, man. I would have liked to have Mark Williams also, other than Mitchell Robinson, but it is what it is. Like if we would have traded Mitchell Robinson a long time ago, maybe we could have been in the mix for Mark Williams, at this point, and then we would have been fine. I see you talking about the Lakers stuff. Scrolling through, see what else, any other thoughts and shit you guys have going on. It goes Chet Holmgren had a even worse injury. And it looks like he'll be back before Mitch. It's crazy. This guy OG just hurt himself and he might be back before Mitch. So it's just, I'm just tired of talking about him in that way. And then he's he's Superman in the phone booth, like, oh, wait till Mitch comes back. Like, Lord have mercy. It's ridiculous to me. Brochure is a nice player. Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting Busher, but it's also too, he's old. He's like 32, whatever he is, 34 years old. He's almost out of here. So those little retreads, I just don't get it, man. Just don't get it. Moses Brown, I talked about him earlier there. Moses Brown, he should be on somebody's team. It's a shame that that nobody signed him. Is that he's just dangling and nobody signed him. He's 7'2" and he can score on the inside. He's a good pick and roll kind of player, good rebounder. He should be on somebody's roster. I'm not saying that he should be starting getting 40 minutes per game, but he should be able to get 10, 15 minutes on somebody's roster. I just don't understand it. For one team, this is a sleeper to me. They just waived Theis. So I wouldn't be surprised if they picked up Moses Brown. Moses Brown, because actually he I don't know if he was drafted by OKC, but he actually had his best season in the league for playing for OKC. So I don't know if he'll go back there. They actually have a spot for him. So we'll see. Scrolling through here. That's it. Shout out to Traby Ryan. Traby Ryan, he does the theme song for the Dire Knicks podcast. Shout out to him on Twitter, man. I think he's probably like now, he definitely, with all the Knick content he's been posting, he's definitely one of the best follows for Knick content right now. So let's take a look at Trav B. Ryan. He's been posting a lot of Knicks stuff there. He actually has the Dire Knicks theme song pinned on his page. That I just noticed that, man. So shout out to you, man. Thank you for the love, as always, man. Thank you for giving me the gem here. I just can never repay you for making that, for me, man. It's unbelievable. But if you want some Nick content, man, follow Traby Ryan on Twitter. Really good stuff, man. As you can see, a lot of MCU stuff, Marvel comics and Zodiac stuff, his hip hop, his music, and everything. Just a really good follow. So if you want to follow him, please follow him on Twitter there. So follow him everywhere, please, on every platform, basically under Trav B Ryan Music. So this is his Twitter page, guys. So please support Trav. Puts out good content, especially Nick related stuff, man. So I know you guys can't get enough of that. But I had enough of you guys, man. This is Dire Knicks Podcast. I'm up out of here. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please hit the like and subscribe button on the way out. Definitely tune into the Knicks, to Dire Knicks. I love talking Knicks. I do the watch alongs, out of necessity, because I've watched the games and I have to talk about it while I'm watching it. I got to get into these little topic things more often, man. You know what I'm saying? Just to get my thoughts out, my perspective, without being interrupted by other cast members, that think they know-it-alls, man. So everybody's a fucking know-it-all. Shout out to Phil Porto, you're a fucking know-it-all. Shout out to Apollo Reed, you're a fucking know-it-all. Shout out to the Nick and Time Show, all you guys are fucking know-it-alls. Shout out to Nothing But Knicks, all you guys are fucking know-it-alls. You know what I'm saying? So since everybody knows it all, it's good to have a room for myself, just to get my own thoughts out, because sometimes when you're on the other people's shows, everyone's talking, and sometimes they'll say stuff, and like sometimes I check out. I don't know if you guys ever noticed, but I'll be on a panel and guys are saying stuff, and I'm sitting on the side and I checked out. I done checked out already, because I just do not agree with anything anybody's saying, and I don't want to ruin the show, with my extracurricular activities. You know what I'm trying to say? So anyway, much love to everybody that I mentioned. I'm just joking around and stuff, but much love to everybody that mentioned. Much love to everybody in the chat. Much love to everybody that will watch this on the replay. Please tune into Dire Knicks Podcast, subscribe and all this. And, I've been trying to give away stuff. I got stuff to give away. And like I said, I've just been sitting on my desk for the longest time. I have NBA 2K25 I would like to give away also for PS5. So please hit the subscribe button. Whenever I get to 3,000, we'll figure out what we're going to do. But I'm not going to give this shit away for free. I'll tell you that much. You know what I'm saying? So, if we get to 3,000 soon, then we'll be able to give those things away. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. It's your boy Eru. 4 fingers to the forehead, tucking the thumb salute, and we up out of here.
Eru is a beast.
Bye.
Eru, I see you. Die hard. Trav. We gonna do this one the right way. We in here forever. Yeah. Die hard, homie, die hard. You can check the swag, he the realest by far. Swimming in that blue and orange, he the lifeguard. Yeah, he been through pain, at least he got some nice scars. He can smell a trophy, yeah, he need it back to back. Represent himself, his own name is on his back. 10 toes down, try to stop him, he come back. Bandwagon hoppers, he will knock you off your tracks. You ain't saying nothing, Nero been here from the start. He been working in the lab to take his team and make it art. See him going over film to help him build and make him smart. He will tell you how he feels because he's real and he got heart. He will never fade away, he will never change his face. Everybody picking faves and he's feeling out of place, cause he is for the team and he always rep the squad. Like that Christmas movie, he gon' always die hard. City on my back. They ask me what's my name and it's on my back. I'm just speaking facts. We got big dreams, we ain't looking back. We be really die hard, yeah, that's a fact. We be really die